Welcome to the show. Hi, I'm Randy Jeffers, and we are live from the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yes.
Well, we have a really special guest for you. You know, every now and then you run across somebody who's truly a special individual, somebody who is a giver. And I know in my case, when I run across somebody that's a giver, I just want to make good friends with that person because not everybody is like that. But Kevin Harris, welcome to the show. It is so great to have you here.
Thank
You
Randy.
are truly a giver. And you are a volunteer with Pastor Cody at Broken Chains Ministries. And I can't wait to hear your story and hear all about how that came about. So
Okay.
tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Kevin Harris. I'm from Los Angeles, California, born and raised in Watts.
And Watts.
Watts.
That's where the
California.
riots were.
Yes,
That was
sir.
got famous
Yes.
for riots, right?
Yes, sir. Riots in Compton, Long Beach, Watts area,
Uh-huh.
South Central Los Angeles, born and raised.
Wow.
Right there. Yeah.
So you had a little bit of a tough upbringing, was it?
Oh, tough. Real
Yeah.
tough. Yeah, upbringing, gang member, ex-gang member, drug dealer, the whole 9 yards. Yeah, that's where I
Wow.
come from.
And so how old were you when you got out of Watts?
When I got out of Watts, I was been here like 6-7 years, and first time out.
So just not that long ago.
Yeah, not that long ago. Just come out here and changed my whole life. You know, it wasn't intentionally. It was just coming here and met Pastor Cody at Broken Chain Ministry, and that's when my life started to take a turn for the best.
Well, you know, Kevin, I'm a firm believer in what I call God things.
Yes, sir.
And there are events that happen in our lives that
Yes.
if we take the step and cross over the line to make those things happen, it's forever different for us, right?
Yes,
I know
sir.
that happened to you, but
Yes.
I'd like to hear a little bit about what it was like early on in your life. You know,
Well-
you grew up in a tough neighborhood.
Yes, sir.
Watts is probably as tough as any place in
Yes,
the
sir.
United States,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Tell
By
us
all
about that.
means. Well, I a son. I have 7 siblings.
Uh-huh.
I have 4 brothers, myself, and 3 sisters.
Uh-huh.
My mom and dad were, my father. I'm the second to the youngest, so the older kids had a different father. All of them had a different father, and me and my younger brother kind of like had the same father. So I was always kind of like with my father a little while,
Uh-huh.
Until he moved on. But yeah, the neighborhood was very rough, and
So you grew up with your father and your mother,
yes,
both of them together?
not all the way, but
Okay.
half of my life I was with my mom
so
and
that's,
dad.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's unusual in that
Yeah,
neighborhood, isn't
yes,
it?
very
Yeah.
much so. And you have to be truly blessed to
Yeah.
have your mom and dad at the same time. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's very unusual. I was very lucky and blessed in that type of situation there. But that's pretty much, everybody.
So what were the
Single
schools
parent.
like when you were going
Well,
through school?
the school had nice little schools in the neighborhood. We was confined to the neighborhood. We
Uh-huh.
couldn't go out of the neighborhood too much. It mainly because of the gangs and pretty much things like that. We were mainly confined to the neighborhood. Didn't too much get out the neighborhood. So the schools were in the neighborhood, and that's where I went to school. And like I say, it's getting out this way was pretty much a first for me to even leave the area. And you
Wow.
know how God works in mysterious ways. I guess I can say, summoned here,
Yeah.
to leave there. Because I never was out of there, never too much went out of the neighborhood till I got here and came to Las Vegas on a different reason, but I came here and ran into Broken Chain, and oh my God, my life changed, truly changed.
Well, I want to hear all about that, but
Yeah.
let's go back to when you were younger. And
Uh-huh.
you mentioned that you were in gangs,
Yes.
and how
yes.
old were you when that happened?
I was 12 years old when I started running around with the gang.
Uh-huh.
The gang was a neighborhood gang.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's pretty much like we stayed in our territory. We didn't let outsiders come in. You know, the territory, the neighborhood, it was pretty territorial.
Mhm.
And everybody had different little territorial neighborhoods in Watts, and I was part of that. I was part of the gangs, going
Wow.
to, you know, fighting, shooting.
So when you would
that.
fight, you would fight other gangs
Other gangs
from another area.
from another area on a different side. Oh my God, I lost so many friends and stuff doing this stuff. Oh God, just wouldn't believe it.
People that got shot and killed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Lots of
My
friends
goodness.
of mine.
And you were
know,
12 when you
yeah,
started.
I was 12 when I started. Yeah.
What was that? Do you remember the name of your gang?
The Bishops.
The Bishops?
Yes, the East Side Bishops. Yeah.
Actually, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's a popular gang in Watts now, and
Uh-huh.
it's very popular, and it's got a couple of territorial neighborhoods now over there. So,
My
and
goodness.
it's pretty, yeah.
So, was it almost mandatory for kids to be
Yes,
in a gang?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And if you weren't, what would happen?
Well, they'll run you out the neighborhood. You know, your parents and everybody else
Mm-hmm.
must go. You know, you either get in where you fit in,
Wow.
or you get out. You know, so it was pretty much mandatory.
So who controls the gang? Is there a hierarchy? There's a leader?
Yes,
There's-
yes. It's passed down to leaders. It started with a big leader, and he kind of got killed early. So you know, once he got killed, he got killed early in life, and he started the gang. So
Wow.
we all, and you know, gangs in the 70s is when this gang really started, in the early 70s. So this guy, you know, it's okay to say his name. Bobby Lavender was the leader of the Bishops, and he led the Bishops till he got killed. And then his brother and other big guys from the neighborhood took over and kept the neighborhood going. So it just passed on down to generation to generation to generation. And
So
it's
obviously,
still going right now.
Kevin, when you were 12, you
Mhm.
joined the gang, and
Yes.
that sort of protected you a little bit.
Yes, yes,
From,
yes.
from some of the other
Yes,
kids, and
yes, yes.
nobody messes with the gang, right?
Right, exactly.
Now, did the
exactly.
gang mess with you though?
No, no, no. I had older brothers. You know, I had 3 older brothers than myself, and they were much older, and they were pretty much in the gang. You know, so
Mhm.
I didn't really have too much of problems with the outsider gangs because I had older brothers. My older brother was good friends with Bobby Lavender,
Uh-huh.
the one that led the neighborhood. So, and my other brothers, you know, they were all mixed in. So
Mhm.
I didn't have too much problems with the gangs, you know, with our gang. And outside the neighborhood was different, you know. Guys come through the neighborhood shooting, neighborhood go back over there shooting, and pretty much back and forth like that, all around, different gangs. Yeah.
My goodness. So, on a day-to-day basis, did you have a clubhouse or some
Yeah,
place where
well-
you went?
We had people had houses where their parents, you know, wasn't no 2 parents,
Mhm.
mother didn't really care, and we'll just take over that house and we'll hang out, and that'll be some place where we'll be hanging out all the time, and just pretty much took over people's houses like that, you know. And oh my God, it's just so crazy.
So you grew up before your time, really.
Yes, sir.
You didn't
Very
have a
much.
chance to.
I didn't
finish
have a
being
child
kid.
house. No, I didn't have. I had my first child when I was 15 years old,
My
and
goodness.
yeah, and he's 40 now. So yeah, thank God that he made it.
Wow.
You know, and yeah, I had my first child when I was 15, and I have 7 kids as we speak today. They're all
Wow.
grown, thank God.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
They're
and
all alive.
they all alive. Yes,
Did
sir.
they get into gangs as well?
My oldest 2
Mm-hmm.
were in gangs. I have a middle son that's in prison. Been in prison for pretty good long time. He's been in there probably half of his life.
Oh my goodness.
He was bank robbery,
Mhm.
jewelry heist, and stuff like that. And yeah, oh my God, it's just so crazy. It was and
So you got involved in drugs probably as
yes,
being
sir.
in the gang?
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Drugs.
What kind of drugs was the fashion
selling.
in those days?
Well, it started out with the marijuana,
Mhm.
then it moved to the cocaine, and now today it ain't no telling what they got out there now, you know. But
Yeah.
pretty much when I was coming up, it was marijuana, then cocaine. So
So you
yeah.
were selling those?
I was
those drugs?
selling
Make a little
drugs,
money?
making money. That's how I never had a job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, never kept a job. If I did work, it was for somebody privately, and yeah.
Now, when you did make money,
hmm
did you have to share part of it with the gang?
No.
No?
Well, all the gang was together, so everybody um, when people come through, you know, we had guys that hooked up with the Mexican guys, and they brought in a lot of marijuana, so they'll issue it out
Mm-hmm.
to the neighborhood, and everybody sell, pay for it, you know, make your money, make their money, give it, you know, and just pretty much like that. Yeah.
So
That's
what would happen? Now, have you been back to Watts lately?
I go through the neighborhood. I don't stop too much, you know. I drive through, and my friends still can't believe me here like I am today. They, oh my God, they
real
don't.
bad.
Yeah, they don't believe it. They just
So
can't.
if I were to drive through your neighborhood in
Mhm.
Watts right now, in my car,
Mm-hmm.
what would happen?
Uh,
Would it be dangerous for me?
not per se, and you know, if you just driving through, you just drive on through. It won't be a problem with you. But you know, I can't say now today because the young guys are so disrespectful. Don't have no respect for the elders or nothing anymore. You know, at least when I came up, we did respect our elders and the older guys. We call them OGs,
Uh-huh.
and you know, we kind of. But now today, man, these kids are just out of whack. So I'm not sure what'll happen. You know, yeah, I just have to say it like that because I'm not sure what'll happen.
Well, I won't put you on the spot
Mhm.
about some of the things that you've done, but some of the things you've seen back then when you were in the
Death.
gangs. What
lot.
kind of things did you actually witness?
Well, a lot of killing, a lot of shootings.
So you
a lot
actually
of-
were there when
Yeah.
you
Oh,
were
yeah.
seeing people being shot and
Oh
killed?
yeah, I was standing next to a few times guys that's how good God is. I was standing next to a few guys that got killed, and you know I'm just in the crowd, and just didn't get hit, you know. So you know that's just all the God thing. I know what it is today. Back
Yeah.
then I think it was just luck, you know. But today I know what it was,
So
you know.
what went through your mind all this time, you know, when you'd see all these things?
Well, today I see all this. I look back and I just, you know, I feel so sorry for people and things that happened. Maybe me being a part of it caused a lot of things to happen that shouldn't, you know. But today I can just look back and it's just so hurtful and just terrible, you know. And then for me it's really harder because of my kids, my
Yeah.
sons,
Yeah.
you know, coming up through the same thing I went through. I wasn't a good father, you know, at the time.
So you were an absent father,
Yes, pretty much.
and so you had these kids from different mothers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir. I did.
Now, have you been able to stay in touch with your kids?
Yes, I'm in touch with them all today.
Okay.
Yes, every last one of them. They so proud, and they, you know, they are good kids today. You know, my one son that I have is in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Been in there like 13 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and the rest of my kids are good kids. They got wives and families, and you know, just like normal people today. And that's a good blessing. That was just God things, you know. God had other plans for me. to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you're a grandfather.
I'm a grandfather. I got 12 grandkids. Yes, sir. I'm a grandfather.
Any great grandkids?
None yet. No great
You're probably
grandkids.
getting close though.
Yeah, pretty much, because my oldest granddaughter is 22. She just turned 22. So, yeah.
It's going to happen soon.
Yeah, I'm
Lovely.
sure. Yeah.
Well, very good. Well, let's fast forward a little bit.
Mhm.
And you said about 6 years ago, you came to Las Vegas.
I came to Las Vegas. I came out here for a different reason. I had marijuana when I came to Las
So
Vegas.
you were going to sell it.
I
make some
came,
money.
yes, sir.
Mhm.
That's what I came here for.
Yeah.
I had 10 pounds of marijuana.
10 pounds.
10 pounds of
That's a
marijuana.
lot, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty much a lot. And I came and I got it all here, made it here with it,
Mhm.
and I set up shop. I was in a hotel at first when I got here, and I stayed in a hotel for maybe a month,
Wow.
and I made enough money, and I rented a house, a 3-bedroom house,
Mhm.
and you know, I didn't have no job, no money, no nothing until I got here, and I made the money and started selling this marijuana. I found a lady here that helped me, you know, that knew I gave her marijuana, and she helped me. You know, I gave her enough to make money for her
Mhm.
and her family, and she helped me sell this weed.
Wow.
Because she lived here. She from Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And I met her at a store. And I talked to her for a while, and we talked for a while, you know, and I got to seeing this girl, and then she was like, you know, I live over here. I can help you make money, you know, and stuff. And that's what happened. And she helped me make money. I sold weed. I sold plenty of marijuana, and it paid my rent, paid my bills, and then I think I was here maybe 3-4 months, and I end up my son came to visit me, and we went to the park. We were walking through the park.
Now, this is
And-
a park downtown Las Vegas.
Yes, well, the park is on Eastern and Sahara.
Okay.
I think it was the old J.C. Park, Myron Levitt, and I was walking through the park, and I heard Pastor Cody, and over there having, you know, they were barbecuing outside. They had a table full of socks and clothes and shoes and all kind of things, and I went over there. You know, I heard him preaching. He was preaching, and I just walked over there. And I stood over there, you know, I listened to the word. You know, when I was a kid, come back, you know, let's take it back a little bit. I was a kid, you know, my mom had us in church.
Oh.
So I went to church and all that till I got older. Matter of fact, it was mandatory to go to church. My mom had us in church. You know, my mom was a working lady, you know, and she had a job. She stayed on her job till she retired. The same job all the years, you know. And I wasn't really poor, you know. I was from Watts, but my father was a truck driver, and my mother she worked at Gardena Memorial. She was a dietitian. She was a dietitian at Gardena Memorial. And so I really wasn't, you know, and all the life I had to go to church and, you know, clean up and all this type of things before you hit the door, you know, trying to go out and play. And I had to go through all that. But when I got old enough and thought I was grown, you know, a little, got a little hair on under my arms and stuff, so I thought I was getting grown. So I would go out and hang out. I would get a whooping all the time, just coming in late. And it just got worse. It just got worse. I was
Now,
still
was it your
going.
mother or your father that gave you whooping?
My father was just like, he was a part alcoholic. He worked, kept a job, but he was an alcoholic. And yeah, he didn't really care. So, but my mom would, oh my God, she would whoop us. Yeah. So I got plenty whoopings for coming in late. And then when I turned 14, I left home when I was 14 years old, and that's how I ended up with the kids. And I left home and I went to stay with a girl and her mother. No father, no her little sibling. She was the older child, and I stayed with her, and that's how I got the baby, the first, my son. And I left home. I wouldn't go back home. My mom would look for me and all that. I would see my mom looking for me and hide and stuff like that. Yeah, yes. And
You broke her heart, huh?
yes, sir, I did. I truly did. Yeah.
Now, is she still with
My
us?
mom is still with us, man, and she's doing wonderful. She is such a Christian.
You see her all the time?
Yeah, well, yeah, I see her.
Talk to
I
her?
talks to her every day. She's a Christian and
Uh-huh.
been a Christian all her life, and you know she was always a good mother. Good mother. I was just hard-headed. Didn't want to mind. Didn't thought I can do it on my own. Yeah.
She's got to be just incredibly proud.
Oh my God, you wouldn't know the. Whoa.
How do you feel knowing that your mom is proud of you? And,
I feel so good,
Yeah.
I just hate I messed up my childhood,
Yeah.
And that's what bothers me today is I just messed up my childhood because I could have had a good life I can't complain or I can't, God just kept his hands on me, and no matter what I did wrong out there, he just kept hold to me. And then once I finally realized what I was going through and what I was doing, man, I was so glad to be here. So
Yeah,
grateful
absolutely.
to come here and
Yeah.
ran into Pastor Cody and Broken Chain. Oh my God.
So let's go back to that day in the park.
Yeah.
Was it at nighttime, daytime?
It was around 5:30 in the evening. I think it was daylight saving time
Uh-huh.
at that time. It was still a little light in the park. And I went up there and I just stood up there and he was preaching, and after he finished preaching, Pastor Cody would walk around and he came over to me. He was like, I never seen you around here. Well, where did you come from? I told him, oh, I'm just passing through. I just heard you preaching and I stopped. That's it, And he was like, well, we got all this stuff out here. You welcome to anything you want that's out here. We got hot meal, food. Are you homeless? I was like, no, I'm not homeless, And he was like, well, I got anything out here, you welcome to it. We finna have a meal and we're gonna pray over the food and then you welcome to eat and stuff. And so I stayed and I ate and I got socks and hats and gloves and all them type of things. And Pastor Cody had say he come back over to me later, when he said, I need a little help. Can you help me put these things up in the? And I was like, sure. He was like, I know you're not on drugs, or I know you. Like these people, you're not homeless living in the park, but I love for you to come around and help volunteer. And so I was like, okay, And from that day on, God spoke to me that moment. And Pastor Cody he knew it. He just knew it. And he wouldn't let up on me. He wouldn't let up. He just
Wow.
kept on me, He said, now, I want you to come back. I'll be here next Wednesday. I want you to come back. And I was like, okay. I only live across the street there. I'll come back. And I came back. I seen him out there again. I was over in the yard and I had forgot about, it didn't even cross my mind anymore. I forgot about that and I was still doing what I was doing, and just kept doing. And I was in the yard and I looked over there and I seen him coming over there again and having the ministry again, So, God was working on me as well. And he was like, go on over there. So something just told me to go on. I went back over there and Pastor Cody greeted me. Hey, I'm so glad you came back, And from that moment on, he made me feel welcome, real welcome. Just something touched me, this is where you need to be,
Yeah.
And even though I was still selling my marijuana and stuff, you know, I would come back over there. I would come back all the time, you know. And Pastor Cody told me, I think I had been there maybe 3-4 times. I come, I help him barbecue cook and help him unload the truck and load the truck back. And he told me, he was like, I have a little, what do you call it, little moving job thing going. He say, I'd love for you to, you know, just come go to work with me. You know, he said, you don't have a job? I was like, no. He was like, yeah, well, I have a job for you. Just come and
Wow.
work. And that's what I did. I went to working. Every time I turned around, Pastor Cody would call me, hey, Kevin, I got a job. I got a job for you. I got a job. And he kept me working, and kept me with the ministry. And, you know, once that little marijuana was gone, you know, I had a couple of $1,000s left, you know, after paying all the rent, and I was like, this is not gonna last, you know.
Yeah.
It's about to be over with, you know. I will be homeless, you know, if I'm not now, you know. And Pastor Cody kept me working, and once the little money was gone, the marijuana was gone, you know, I stopped smoking marijuana, because I was smoking marijuana just as well, you know. And I never was a drinker, because my mother was working on me that all of my life. You know, don't be like your daddy. Don't be like your father. You know, alcoholic. So I wasn't a drinker. I never drink, you know. So I smoked plenty marijuana, though, you know.
Yeah.
So, because I had plenty of it all the time. So, and once I got to going with Pastor Cody, hanging out, you know, he would take me to dinner and lunch, and he just worked on me. I tell you, God just sent him after me, you know. And
Now let's just stop for a second and talk about who we're talking about. We're talking about Pastor
to
Cody,
Cody
Huff.
Pastor Cody Huff.
And he's the founder of Broken Chains
Yes,
Ministries
sir.
here in Las Vegas.
Yes, sir.
And he has an amazing story. He's been on our show. He's
Oh,
just
really?
an amazing,
Yeah. Oh, my
amazing
God.
man. His
Yes.
story is incredible. He was homeless himself
Yes, right.
and
right.
got rescued out of that. And
Yes, he did.
is just, I mean, talk
He-
about a giver. There's just an amazing
Oh
giver
my
there.
God, he's just a godsend. For me, he was a godsend, you know, and he's part of the big. I know God is, give all honors to God,
Yeah.
but he put Pastor Cody in my life, and
Well, he's the hands and feet of God. You know?
Yeah, right,
God
right.
at work. And
yeah, so he kind of like Pastor Cody was a blessing to me, truly a blessing.
well,
Him
you
and
know,
Broken Chain.
Kevin, Pastor Cody's probably going to watch this show if he's not watching it live. And
Yeah.
why don't you tell Pastor Cody what he means to you?
You mean the world to me, Pastor Cody. Always have. And I don't know where I'd be without you.
Hmm.
So, yeah. Yep, that's my guy.
Well, you know, I'm sure he's blessed just
Yes.
thousands of people, right?
Yes,
Over the
oh
years.
my God. I hope he can help you. If you want help,
Yeah.
he would be the one to help you. And I can just tell people that homeless and, man, Pastor Cody is the way to go. You know, God is first, put God first, and Pastor Cody second. So you'll be okay. Yeah,
So you really never left Pastor Cody after that time?
never left. I've been with him for over 6 years now, and never left Broken Chain. My whole life has changed, you know.
So every week on is it Wednesdays?
Wednesday,
Or
every
Wednesdays?
Wednesday night, I'm in the park with Pastor Cody, and he's always there. If he's not sick, or he's there, you know, and he's always helping anybody. It don't matter who you are, he'll be there for you. That's all you have to do is want it, you know. And I'll tell anybody. He didn't know me from nowhere. He saw me one time in his life, and the man welcomed me with open arms, and he'll do the same for anybody.
So tell us, Kevin, a little bit about some of the things that you do. You're a volunteer.
I'm a
You're
volunteer.
not paid for this, for
No.
doing these things, and
No.
you're pretty busy. You're pretty
Yes,
active
yes.
with the ministry, right?
I'm a volunteer for Broken Chain, been for the last 6 years. I do practically anything Pastor Cody can't do himself, I do it for him. So, and that's my way of thanking him for helping me. You know, Pastor Cody has really, truly, you know, been a part of my life and my change and everything. You know, and today I am grateful, truly grateful. First giving honor to God, and then Pastor Cody as well, because he is who God put in my life to change, and that's my story.
That's a
Yeah.
amazing story. You know, there's the ripple effect in life. You know,
Yes.
it's like you throw a little rock out in the pond,
Right,
and
right.
it ripples. And so,
Yes,
so
sir.
Pastor Cody has, you know, has mentored you and helped
Yes,
you and
yes,
changed your
yes.
life.
Yes,
and
he
now
has.
you're doing that with other people.
Yes, yes,
And you know,
Yes.
and those people will help other people, and
yes.
some of those people Pastor Cody will never get to know,
Exactly.
but it's all
Right,
because
right.
of him, right?
Right, exactly.
And because of the
exactly.
people that helped him.
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what are some of the things that you do like weekly?
Well, weekly I go pick up all the supplies, everything got to do with the ministry. I drive the bus. I pick up everything that's coming through for the ministry.
There's a lot of people
We have
donations,
from all over. Yeah.
Okay.
And
There's clothing and
clothing,
socks are really important.
Yes,
today for
very
homeless.
much important for
Yeah.
the homeless. Socks, gloves,
Mhm.
jackets, sleeping bags by
Yeah.
the thousands. Yeah, and all these things are available to people who just come out to the park, hear God's word, and you welcome to anything there. So yeah, no matter who you are, you welcome. Just
And
come.
then once a week there's a big meal.
Yes,
at the park?
and we also gives a big meal. We barbecue. We have plenty food. Anybody wants to come eat, just come, and it's there for you. You welcome. Like I say, welcome to anything. Anything we have it's open. It's right there. Just get it.
Yeah.
And that's all of Pastor Cody. That's what he does. Yeah. So.
Well, that's great. Well, I know you drive the bus and you go around and pick up a number of people and take them to church every
Yes.
Sunday. Right?
Oh yeah, and so we go to church every Sunday. The bus is in the park, 7:00 in the morning on Sundays, and anybody welcome. Anybody, if you want to go to church, you welcome. The bus will be there. I'll be there. Pastor Cody will be there, and if you want to come to church, we'd be glad to take you.
So, Kevin, your life is totally different now.
Totally
In
different.
the last 6,
So-
7 years,
yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
You're just
Very
a
much.
different guy.
All the way. I'm a Jesus follower to the fullest.
And so, could you ever go back to that life?
Long as God keep holding my hand, I would never go back to that life. That life was a past life, you know. That's I wish I could have got rid of that life long time ago, you know. And I just thank God. I'm grateful that I'm still alive, and that I'm with a whole different group of people like Randy. Look at here. I'm here.
Well, one of the things that people can do that are watching us right now,
Mhm.
because you have such an amazing story, and there's so many people that need help, especially here in Las Vegas.
Yes, sir.
Do you know the numbers on how many people are homeless? It's a big number.
Oh, yes,
Many
I'm
thousands, right?
Yes, yes, sir. Oh my God, I see so many homeless people, and you know, I pick up a lot of supplies, and I go around and give out a lot of supplies to people. You know, if you can't make it to the park, you liable to saw me driving up and down the street in that bus, giving away food, whatever it is, and I'm the same guy. I was in the same place you guys are in, and it's a way out. It's a way out. Just trust God, and you. It's a way out. You welcome.
That's fabulous. Now, for those that aren't homeless, that have some extra money,
Mm-hmm.
and they're touched by the words that you're speaking today, and you know, they feel a little bit led to help.
Yes.
They can, you know, the ministry I'm sure needs money
all the time. Yes,
right?
we always open for donations, and we love for people to come and donate and help out the ministry. It's a great ministry, you know, and no one that works with the ministry are paid. Everything goes toward feeding the homeless, helping
Yeah.
the homeless, everything. It's no one paid for anything. So
Yeah. This is the real deal. You
yes,
know,
this
unlike
is the real deal. Broken Chain is the real deal.
Yeah.
Pastor Cody Huff is the real deal.
Yeah.
You know, it's no one paid that works with Broken Chain. Board of directors, no one paid. Everybody donates and try to help the homeless. Yeah, that's what we do.
Now they can go to the website. and
Yes,
it's,
sir.
Broken Chains. Is it? Do you know the website?
Homeless Ministry, Broken Chain.
Maybe I'm not sure exactly what. I think it's BrokenChainsMinistries.com.
Yeah,
but you can
right.
Google it. And if you
Yes.
just put in Broken Chains Ministries, Las Vegas, it'll pop up and you'll be able to see it.
Yes, sir.
But
yes.
And so we challenge everybody that's watching to go to the
Site
website,
and
look at it, read some of the success stories there, find out what they're doing, and there's a little button there that you can push that says donate,
Yes.
and you can be a part of something that truly is special, that doesn't have big administrative costs and all these
exactly,
things. Yeah.
exactly. It worked for me.
Yeah.
A wretch like me, it worked for me.
Well, I don't know about before I met you what kind of wretch you were, but you are not a wretch now. Kevin.
Yes,
you
thank
are,
God, man.
You are
Yes.
just an unbelievable
Yes. And I thank you
person
for that.
and a giver, and you just God's got to be smiling at you all the time for all
I
the
hope
things that you're
so.
doing.
I truly hope so, as I am a Jesus follower, and Pastor Cody has truly been a great part of my life as well. So, and if you ever need help, and if you are hurting out there, you come, and Pastor Cody is always there to help. He sends people to programs. He's in, all type of things to help. So if you need help, you're always welcome. We at the old JC Park. It's the Myron Levitt Park now, and every Wednesday, 5 o'clock till 8, we're there. You're welcome.
So
Truly
that's over
welcome.
on Eastern.
It's on Eastern and Sahara. Yes.
Okay. So that's
And
easy.
you're always welcome. Yes, it's very easy. And man, you hungry? Come eat. You need clothes? Need anything? We got clothes, hats, shirts,
Wow.
everything, jackets, sleeping bags. Anything you need, just come. You're welcome to it.
Well, that's fabulous.
Yeah.
Now, Kevin, the giving that you're doing now, I mean, you're transformed. You've
Yes.
turned into a giver. And I suspect when you were younger, you're part of the gangs and
Yes,
growing up,
yes.
you were a taker.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir. Very much so.
And because you went through those experiences and you've seen all those things. I
Yes.
mean, I can't imagine, what the things that you've
Oh,
seen
my
that
God,
that
yes.
you grew up with. It just
Yes.
there's no way I could imagine.
Mhm.
Most of us could even begin to imagine what you
True
went
that.
through. But because you went through those things, has that made you stronger? Has it made
Oh
you
my
better
God,
now?
it makes me truly strong.
Yeah.
Truly strong. I am definitely grateful for what God has done for me in my life, and there is a God, people. If you just seek him, he'll come. He's there, open arms, and man, my life has changed.
That's
A living
fabulous.
witness. Tell you, I've been where you people have never want to go, and I was born and raised where you couldn't imagine. You would never imagine, So if it can work for me, it'll most definitely work for you. Just trust God. He works. I tell
Wow.
you, yeah.
So what are some of your goals now?
My
Where's
goals-
Kevin going to be in 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now?
Well, I hope to still be with Broken Chain Ministry. This was my
That's a
venture.
lifetime thing, I
Yes,
think,
sir.
right?
Yes, sir. It's my venture. Yeah, I am stuck with Broken Chain, and I'm loving every minute of it. I work. I truly work, have a job, and I don't do none of the things I used to do. None of them, nothing. nothing. It's has been. It's something I can't forget it, but I never want to relive it. So this is a new life for me, and it's wonderful. I'll tell you. People used to tell me that all the time, but I couldn't see it. But today, I'll tell you, God is good. Trust that. Yes.
So, Kevin, what's it like when you go back to the old neighborhood? You go visit your
my
mother, for
friend,
instance?
well, my mom and them don't live in the neighborhood.
Okay.
They live out the neighborhood, but I have people I grew up with, and they see me today, they be like, "Oh, Kevin, this ain't you. This just, they just can't believe it. They can't believe it because I was an active gang member, very active. Whatever they did, I did. I was there. So, my friends don't believe it. They come here. I have friends that come down here and see me, and they can't believe it. And I just tell them, look, man, it's the same life I got today. You can have the same life. Don't have to keep looking over your shoulder. Have to run around the neighborhood looking over your shoulder all the time, man. I would never wanted to leave the neighborhood. I tell you, God brought me over here for a reason, so I can come back and tell you guys this same story. It's help out there needed.
Now, have you at the park done any preaching yourself?
Well, no, I don't do too much preaching, but I make sure everything is there and everything, and I do preach to people. I do that, I have one-on-one conversations with a lot of people. Hopefully I can help them and they'll listen to my story, because my story is real, very real, I tell you. Yeah.
Now, we only have a couple minutes left, but I want to ask you about the mindset of someone that's homeless. And I drive by every day a number of intersections where there are people standing there begging for money, signs, and of course some of those people are not homeless. Some of those people have found a good way to make money.
Right. Exactly.
So it's sort of hard to know who's homeless and who really needs help, and how do you figure all that out?
Well, mostly homeless people are on some type of drugs, alcohol, or something, in the mind. Mostly homeless people. So when you can pretty much pick them out the bunch that's really need the help. And then there's some that's, like you say, are out there just trying to get money.
Yeah.
But you can tell a homeless person, people that's really hungry, offer them some food.
So food, not should you give them money?
No, offer them food.
Okay.
And then the ones that's really homeless and hungry out there, they'll accept the food. The other ones will hold up signs, say, I need money.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them hold up signs, say hungry.
Yeah.
Offer them food. And
I passed one guy that has a sign that says something about I'm honest, I need beer.
That's the good one. That's at least he's honest.
He's honest. At least he's honest, right?
Yes, and them the ones that I wouldn't mind helping. That's the one. I won't buy him no beer, but I would help him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God.
So you're happy?
I'm truly happy.
Peace in your
truly
life.
peaceful. My life is truly peaceful. I don't look over my shoulders no more. And Watts, I had to always run around the neighborhood, even in my own section, and look over my shoulder.
You don't know who's after you. Yeah.
Don't know who's coming, when they coming, how they coming. You don't know. They just come. And today I don't have to do that, people. I tell you. Today I just got God all around me. I got a halo on my head. I don't have to look back and wonder what's going to happen next. No more. It's all behind.
Well, that's fabulous. Well, Kevin, it's just such a pleasure for me to know you. And,
yes, sir. And I thank you, Randy, so much.
Absolutely. And
yes,
God
sir.
bless you, buddy.
Thank you for having me on your show. Thank you.
Yes, and God bless Broken Chains.
Yes, sir.
All these
oh,
people.
My God. People, Broken Chain is real. And it do help. Tell you. I'm a living witness. Right. I've been where you guys never would want to go. So
Absolutely.
Oh, my God.
Well, Kevin, thanks for being on the show.
And thank you, Randy.
We'll see you next week, same time, same station. Bye-bye, everybody.